I got some big block Chevy rods I'm going to be resizing. So let's get to cutting on these things and get them in the hone. What I'm doing here is just deburring the edges before I cut them in my cap cutter. Make sure everything's nice and flat. Here's my cap cutter. The cap of the rod goes in here, and then it has a stone, and right here moves it up and down, depending on how much I want to cut. Now that the cap is cut, we're going to hit this leading edge to help get the bearing in when we're done all resizing it when you're assembling it. So I'm just going to hit this little parting line right here. Just like that. Got everything all cut and machined. Look at that, with a little bit of magic, these things are all torqued and ready to hone. All the rods are ready to resize. Now I have to set the machine up. I'm setting the shoes by just giving this little bit of a tap, and these shoes right here are aligning. Alright, I got my gauge all set. Let's see how much we have to hone. About 4 thousandths. So let's get to honing. When honing rods, you want to make sure you use the whole stone, because if you don't keep on flipping and working that stone over, you're going to have a lot of taper and the rods won't come out correctly. What I mean by that is when you're honing on rods, there'll be certain spots when you're stroking it'll have a lot more load than other spots, and you really have to work those areas. Flip the rod, overstroke in certain spots, because when you're all said and done, it's supposed to be nice and smooth throughout that stroke, and that's how you know you have a nice true rod. Then the gauge helps quite a bit too. I was using my rough stones there, so it's kind of rough in here. I was just hogging out a bunch of material very quick. Remember, let's check the size on this thing. We're about 1 thou to go. So I'm gonna get all the other ones there and check them when I'm all done. Now that I got these things pretty close to size, I'm moving from this really rough stone to this finishing stone. So let's get to honing and finishing these things up. These things turned out awesome. So I normally don't resize rods with pistons on them, but I hung these pistons about a month ago for the customer. He went to put the engine back together and a couple of the rods bound up, so he brought them back to me and they were way out of whack. So I told him, hey, bring them all back, I'll check them out. They were all kind of mixed up besides one, and then they're out of whack, so I had to cut them all and resize them. So now he's good to go if he keeps them in order. That's gonna do it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching.